And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy Frie back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. How's life at the library?
It's kind of busy.
Well, see, this is the kind of day that you just kind of want to sit at home and read a book.
Right. If it's actually raining, then it seems like we don't get quite as many.
Yeah.
But right before, if they think rain is coming, we'll get a whole bunch of people coming in to get material.
Telling you, something about a rainy day, kicking back with a book in your favorite chair with your comforter or blanket or something. Yeah, it's kind of Afghan, whatever.
Yeah.
It's that's what I call a good day, you know. so hopefully some are getting able to do that during our rainy weather here and things like that. I know time doesn't necessarily allow that for everybody, but you know, when you got a day slower because it rained up, you know, get you a good book to curl up with and enjoy for the day. So.
Or a movie.
Or a movie.
Yeah.
Either way, you can get them at the library. So.
Yes.
By the way, you know, we talk about all this stuff that's going on with the library, and this is, you know, we talk about with kids, you know, the world we live in, everyone's post-COVID, and there's so many catch-up opportunities now to get kids kind of back, you know, as far as reading and with their STEM-related education type stuff. And I know teachers and everyone in schools are really trying to get kids back to where they're supposed to be at those proper levels and things. But to really make sure this helps and to really cement it, the parents, folks need to kind of do extra stuff here. And this is right now, the Roswell Public Library is your friend on this, because there's so many different ways, whether it's one of your actual like lessons or, you know, like a quilting day or something that's dedicated, or if you're like, my kid just needs extra tutoring help, things like that. Those resources are available to you free of charge through the Roswell Public Library. So when your kid is struggling, and let's face it, all kids are struggling right now. It's just, that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Give them more opportunities to learn this stuff. And let's face it, the library can do it in ways that, because it's not like a teacher at schools assigning a work thing, and this is more fun on your own. It's like, hey, let's learn about space here, or let's learn, you know, about this, and you turned it into a fun thing, and they're actually getting caught up on things that they should be kind of already know and be learning right now, but COVID kind of put a back seat to some of this stuff.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. So that being said, please listen to some of these events and stuff that Tracy's going to be talking about over the next month here, because all of them are fun, family-oriented type stuff, but at the same time, all more enrichment for your kids, for their education, and for making them better, well-rounded, overall, smarter individuals.
And they're all free.
And all free of charge, absolutely. So I imagine this is a busy month for you guys. Halloween always seems to be a draw to the library with Dia de los Muertos and your various other events that have going on this month. So I imagine it's going to be a busy month at the library.
Yes, this is our busy month. We will have our Dia celebration.
Dia de los Muertos, yeah.
Yes, on Saturday, October 29th.
Okay.
At 10:30 to 1.
Okay.
And we invite everyone out. It was a fun event last year. It was tons of people.
Well, it's really about the history of Dia de los Muertos. So if you always wondering, well, why are these people running around with the skull faces and sugar skulls and you know, what is all that about? Well, come to the Roswell Public Library's Dia de los Muertos. They tell you the story of La Llorona, I believe is how it said. I might be mispronouncing that.
I can't do any better.
and learn why Dia de los Muertos is the holiday that it is, and why it's celebrated, and what all the traditions that are behind it, what they mean. And so you get to learn about all of that. And obviously here in New Mexico, that's very much part of the fabric of the culture here.
Yes.
So.
And we have a display in the library when you first come in. We have a glass case, and Diana told me to make sure I mentioned this. It's a display of La Catrina, which is the altar. Okay. And it is just a miniature version of an altar, and it'll show you. And when you come on the 29th, it'll be explained what everything is.
The reason for it, and why it's done this way.
Right.
Very good.
Right.
So please mark that date on your calendars here. Come out. It's fun, family-friendly event. So kids, adults, everybody's going to learn something from this. But obviously the projects and things are more
Right.
kid centric.
Because we're going to have the service of remembrance, and we're going to have the meaning of the altars, and then we have Roswell
Folklorico. Yeah, the
there.
dancers.
Yes. And then we also, Diana's already creating those sugar skulls, and we're going to have face painting. So,
Oh, cool. So pretty much all the gamut of everything.
Right.
Yeah, if you've never seen the Folklorico dancers, they, I know there's Roswell Folklorico, but I think there's a couple other Folklorico groups out here, and they're all amazing. It's all steeped in the traditions of the Folklorico dancing, which goes into many of the Mexican dances and traditions and things. So it ties in nicely with Dia de los Muertos and all of that too. So, and usually there's a lot of flowing dresses and colors and pageantry involved with the Folklorico dancing. So even if you don't understand per se the moves, it's very beautiful to watch and see.
Right.
So check it out. So. And again, that's the 29th.
Yes, it's Saturday, October 29th between 10:30 and 1.
It's a come and go event, but if you want to do everything, you might want to get there a little early so you have time to fit everything in.
And I'm not sure what time. Last year we did the what was it? The service of remembrance, but it was like early. I'm not exactly sure of the time, but if you call the library, Diana could answer your questions about it.
Okay, and as we get close to the event, we'll be sure to tell more people about all the details and things. So.
Right.
But we want to put it on your calendar now. And it's coming up here in a few weeks. So.
Yes, actually, 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, it's going by too quick.
2 weeks. Oh wow. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We still have our story times on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay.
And they're all at 10:30. Our Tuesday one, we also have one at 5 o'clock for the Spanish version of Mother Goose on the Loose.
So we'll bring them to the English version in the morning.
Yes.
And then the Spanish version in the afternoon.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. I don't care if whatever your first language is for you, it doesn't matter. Bring them to both because I think you'll serve that child well if they're bilingual.
Right.
Especially if they're going to live in anywhere in the world, but particularly here in southeast New Mexico.
Yes.
That's going to be very useful for them down the road. So,
oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we have this Saturday, we're going to have gardening at the library with Drew Garnett. He was here last month, and this month he'll be here again. I believe he's talking about wintering gardens.
Okay. So like making sure you're fertilizing and protecting it right.
Correct.
So when the hard winter months come in, well, it's New Mexico. We don't get that tundra, but you're protecting those plants, and when they're ready to come back in the spring, they're healthy and ready to roll. So
right.
Good deal.
So he'll be here Saturday the 15th at 10 a.m. and it runs about an hour. So
okay.
He's open to questions.
Good.
And he's willing to talk. If you have subjects you would like for him to discuss in the future, you can come and you can suggest it, and he will try to fit in.
Absolutely. You know what I love about this is maybe you're into gardening already, but you're new to the area. Maybe you grew up in the East Coast or up in New England or on the Pacific, somewhere that's not like New Mexico's climate.
Exactly.
And so you're like, I love gardening, but I don't have a lot of experience in a drier, warmer climate like New Mexico.
Yes.
So obviously that impacts on how and what you plant here compared to what you plant in, say, Minnesota or Chicago or
definitely.
something. And so, if you're new to the area, come out and learn about what works well here and things. Because I imagine even if you're talking like xeriscape and that kind of stuff, he's probably got a lot of good information for folks seeking those kinds of answers too. So
last month he was talking about boll weevils in the pecan.
Oh yeah, that's a big issue around here.
That was something that I didn't realize that those little holes in it was the boll weevil. I did not know
that's
that.
why there's a quarantine on pecans around here, and if you buy them commercially, you're fine. But if you're getting them from a farm or something, you can't take them to Texas or take them because of those pecan weevils. They're quarantined, and so if you're dealing with pecans, you own pecans, call the Chaves County Extension Office.
Yes.
And ask for Drew.
Yes.
Drew's the guy. He will look at your pecans. He
Yes.
will tell you if they're infested with weevils or not.
Yep.
And he can help you get pecan weevil traps to catch and hopefully mitigate your pecan weevil problem.
Yes.
But yeah, that's if you're looking for more information on what's a pecan weevil, come out to the next gardening event here and learn more about it and do all that.
Yes.
It's really cool. So good deal. Okay, what's next?
And then on Saturday at 11 a.m., we're going to have a movie at the library.
All right.
And that's family oriented. And it's going to be, where is it at? Movie?
Uh-oh, disappeared.
No, it's that one, it's the one that's dealing with the Delos. It has the.
Not the newer one, Encanto, but the one that came out a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember. I know the movie. I'm seeing the picture.
I'm looking for
I just cannot remember the name of it.
Here it is. Book of Life.
Book of Life. That's it. I remember the trailer. It was a huge movie.
Yes.
I don't have kids, so I don't.
Right.
It's not always on my radar, but. Yes. And I knew that Encanto was just like over Christmas time. It come out on Disney Plus, and I saw that. So, but I was like, "That's not Dia de los Muertos. That's something different."
Right. Yeah, it's Book of Life, and then afterwards they're going to do a STEM experiment with gummy bears.
Oh, cool. Okay, very cool. So that's on Saturday.
This Saturday.
This upcoming Saturday.
Yeah.
Cool. So come bring the whole family, watch a free movie, and then and partake in the gummy bear craft afterwards.
And then on the 22nd, the following Saturday, they're going to do a STEM activity called Phases of the Moon with Oreo cookies.
Oh, nice. Yeah. By the way, did y'all notice the full moon this morning if you got up early enough?
I didn't know.
Being a morning show radio guy, it was dark coming into work. I mean, we had the full moon out there, and if it was an Oreo, I would have grabbed it and ate it. But cool. But learn the phases of the moon, what that means, how that impacts science. That's it.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you talk about, I know we live in New Mexico, so you don't think much about high tides and low tides and things like that around here. But that moon phase impacts all of that stuff. So if you're on the coast of a continent or something, you're paying a close attention to low tide, high tide, moon cycles and things, because that's the difference between your boat having a place to dock and your boat sitting in some dirt.
Exactly.
Or vice versa, your boat sitting in your living room.
Right. Oh, no.
So, but very cool. So learn some of that too here. And what's the date of that?
That's on the 22nd.
22nd. So that's that week before the Dia de los Muertos.
Right. So these are Saturday events.
That's Saturday before.
Yes.
Perfect. Every Saturday there's stuff going on. So you just kind of plan, hey, what's going on at the library this Saturday?
Right.
Come by the library, pick up the calendar. And you can put them on your fridge. Or if you're more of a digital high-techy person, like and follow the Roswell Public Library Facebook page or Instagram page.
And we also list our programs on the Roswell events.
Okay.
And
the events and happening page and all that. And I think, of course, if you go to through the city, the Roswell Library's website periodically, you'll see the updated calendar there too.
Right.
But if you want something simple, come by the library. Each month they print off a new calendar.
Right.
You could take one home, put it on your fridge, and then that way you can plan accordingly.
Yes.
What Saturdays you want to make sure you're at the library, or Wednesdays or Thursdays or any of the other dates that some of the events that are going on there. So good deal.
So speaking of Wednesdays, October 19th, we have 4-H come to the club, up to the library.
Awesome.
And so the October 19th we'll have them there, and they come. And I'm looking at the time, and there's no time on here. Because the kids get out of school, so they would have to call the library to find out the time that 4-H.
Probably about 3:30 or so, 4 o'clock.
Right. I know the elementary schools get out early on Wednesday, so.
Wednesdays they do. I think they're out at like 1:45 or something.
Right. So I'm not too.
So maybe in the 2 o'clock hour or something.
Something like that, but they can call the library.
And next time I have 4-H in, which they come in once a month too, I'll pin them down and say, hey, what time is your library event?
Thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that week also, the 20th, Thursday, October 20th, we have our adult book club.
Oh, good.
And this month, we're reading The Descent of Elizabeth Franklin.
Okay.
Elizabeth Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein. I was like, is this Benjamin Franklin's wife?
No.
So this is Dr. Frankenstein's wife.
Yes.
Awesome. Don't hear much about her in the story of Frankenstein.
Right. It's a young adult book, but it was very interesting, and it kind of tied in the Frankenstein. So I decided.
So is it like a perspective, like what's your husband doing in the basement kind of thing?
It was her perspective of what was happening,
why
why he was missing, what was going on with him.
Okay.
So
it's almost like putting a normal human spin on, which is a horror story, a long, long told horror tale, you know,
Yes.
that's been for generations and generations and generations.
Yes.
And you're like, yeah, this is like the normal side of it. It's like, what's going on? You know, by the way, your husband's building a zombie in the basement. What are you doing tonight?
Do you
huh?
check the
yeah.
basement?
Yeah, it's like you down there with like, you know.
Do you wonder what's going on?
I mean, back in the day, they probably have laundry rooms and stuff down there because, you know,
Right.
it was a different time.
Yeah.
But, you know, did you go down in the basement for anything while you were down there? So
Did you hear strange noises?
I do always like stories of like, especially stories, the small stories surrounding a big event or something, you know, like it's kind of like, there's that Spike Lee movie. I think it's called Get on the Bus. And I think it's about the Million Man March.
Right.
And so the movie's not really about the Million Man March.
No,
it has nothing to do with the Million Man. That's the backdrop. It's about the setting of a group of people trying to get to D.C. for the Million Man March.
And them clashing on the bus.
And then their stories and like you say, and their agreements and disagreements.
Right.
And to me, that was kind of neat. So I feel like this Mrs. Frankenstein's book is kind of in that same vein where it's like, while all this stuff's going on, here's what's happening in the rest of the world around that, you know? And so I think it's kind of in that same vein.
I read Frankenstein in college, so when I saw this, I was like, I don't know if I want to read it. And then I started reading, I was like, oh, it is tying in a little bit. Oh, okay, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So is it still time to sign up for book club to this one? We haven't started this one yet, have we?
Right. It's gonna happen on October 20th. So if you
got between now and then to read it.
Correct. And we have the books available at the library. So just come to the circulation desk and borrow a book.
And it's called Elizabeth Frankenstein.
The Descent.
The Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. So it's her basically going from normal to crazy?
Yeah. Well, maybe she was already there.
Maybe.
I'm not going to say.
Yeah. We didn't start where she started from to descend, you know. We just assumed it was from a normal place. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it went from crazy to off the rails. I don't know. But that's why you read the book and then you discuss it. And that's the part. If you never participated in book club before, that's the beauty of it is you get to read it and you have your own interpretations and ways. And then you get together with other people that read the same book you did and might see it from a different angle than you did. Or from the exact same angle. I mean, hey, I'm pretty close, but you thought of this that I didn't think of, and now that kind of changes my thinking because of that. I didn't think of that caveat, you know, and that's what book club's all about. It's to kind of make you think about what you read and force you sometimes to see it from a different perspective, and that's how you grow and become better people, and at the end of the day, smarter and more experienced in life.
Yeah. So. And it's pretty laid back, so it's not like it's academic where you're just sitting there and
people aren't like ready to fight to the end on their stairs. They're just like, you know, that's an interesting read. I took it this way, and I didn't. But now you say it that way, it makes more sense the way you said it. Or you know what?
Or I didn't think of it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So please, you know that. Why do you think there's Bible study every Wednesday night in every church in America? They're studying the same book because there's so many different ways to read a book and how to take things from it. And so people spend lifetimes trying to understand a book. The Bible's probably the most popular one that does that. But there are many other people that do that all the time. So so book club is like a little version of that a little bit. So,
yes.
So come try it out. Try it out with The Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. Sounds like a good place to start for people that love, you know, horror, Frankenstein. It's a classic.
Exactly.
You know, everyone's heard of Frankenstein. Here's kind of a different perspective of that story, it sounds like. So very cool.
Yes.
Have you read it all yet?
Yes. I'm going to just reread it. But I read it. I always pre-read before I choose a book. And then,
sure. Well, you got to. Because
Yeah.
you got to know what you're recommending or asking people to read. And you better be familiar with it yourself.
Right.
So that makes sense. But,
yes.
So I won't spoil it from you, but initial impression, was it blowing away, or were you like cemented feelings, or just personally for you? Did it force you a new perspective, or did it kind of cement what you thought of the story to begin with?
It didn't actually. It kind of weaved some of the original story in, but then it kind of went a different way, which wasn't really her. He wasn't in the basement there. He was in a factory somewhere else.
Yeah, we all think basement and
right, but he was somewhere else working, and she went looking for him, and then it was like this what in the world's going on with him?
Right.
And we
So you're
kind of
kinda
knew.
like, yeah. But you're kind of thinking, well, is she crazy or he crazy? Are they both crazy?
Or is this whole city that they in a little off?
Yeah, and they're the normal ones in the world. You know, it's interesting. So please check out the book.
Yes.
And then get it read between now and the next couple weeks here.
October 20th.
And then come on the 20th to the book review book club.
And it's at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. at the library.
Yes.
Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything. You got to have the only rule or requirement is you have to have a library card and be in good standing with it, which is free of charge to sign up unless you got a card free and then didn't turn in books, and you might have $5 on there, but you might have to pay that off. So but if you haven't done that in 20 years, they probably forgot about you, and you could get a fresh start. But after so many years, if you're like, I got a library card in 1992. Well, they probably don't have it on file if you've not used it since 1992. Now, if you've been using it on the regular since 92, then you're in. But if you haven't, that stuff got purged a while ago.
And if you had a library card and you misplaced it, you can come into the library and get a replacement. And it's free.
Yeah.
So you just show your ID.
Now, if you make a habit of that, they might charge you at some point. But, if you're coming in every week, I lost my card. I'm like, first get a wallet. And let's put this in there so you stop losing this thing.
Exactly.
But... good deal. Is there any other events we want to make sure we get on people's radar?
I just want to say that on Halloween, October 31st, if they come in the library between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And the children say trick or treat, you'll get a
treat. All right, so trick or treat at the library all day.
Yes, and some of us will be dressed up.
Okay, so come in costume if you want.
Yes.
Or you don't have to, but you got to say trick or treat, and you got to play by the official rules of trick or treating. And request trick or treat, and they will give you a treat. They want to trick you.
Yes.
They will make sure you get a treat that you will enjoy. Something that your parents will probably say, don't eat all at once.
No, I'll hold that for you.
That's right. But come out and do a little trick or treating on the 31st.
Yes.
When you're in that
Monday.
area during the day.
10
Obviously,
to 6.
After 6 when the library closes.
Then we're not doing it.
Then you go to your neighborhoods and trick or treat by that time.
Yeah, that's true.
So do all that. But and don't forget, the library is your resource for, if I know we're in the fall here, but right after the end of the year, people are going to start thinking about taxes and all that.
Right.
They're going to be helping out with that in the spring, as they always do.
We'll get the forms.
Or winter, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
And then, of course, if you need help, if you're a college student and need tutoring, if you're just an adult looking to enhance your own knowledge of things, if you're looking for reading for pleasure, if you're looking to watch movies and things, but you don't want to, the Blockbuster closed on you and you're like, I don't do streaming digital, I don't know all that stuff. The library can help you out with that. And they can do the streaming digital too. You can, if you like the high tech, you can go to the library's website and download and utilize a lot of source materials that are available to you free of charge, as long as you have a library card and in good standing. And you can technically check that stuff out, not actually set foot in the library. So those are other resources available to you free of charge, just for making sure you got a library card. So go get one if you don't have one.
Yes.
And then come and even if you're like, I got nothing important I want to do, you're right. It's starting to rain. I'd like to find a new book. And by the way, I don't feel like paying $30 for a new hardback copy. Or whatever. I'm going to go and I can go find the latest Stephen King or Grisham or whoever you're into.
Right.
Right now at the Roswell Public Library. So come check it out.
And on the 31st, also, we have just started having Medicare representatives come in, and you just have to give us a call. I believe the time she's coming in is at 1:00 on the 31st.
Okay.
And you can make an appointment if you have questions about Medicare. That person will be there to help you.
Okay. Answer those questions that way, because we all know that gets confusing. And then, of course, the November time frame's around that time where people pick new plans that are going for their plans and all that, and your deadlines for getting registered and all that's coming up here. So look for help through the library. Once again, if you're having issues there and not knowing where to turn on that, the library, again, is a resource to help you navigate that or put you in touch with people that can get that information to you. So. And then, of course, if I will even offer this out there, because I know there's some volunteers in our community that do a lot of cool stuff. They go on trips, or they do things, and they actually do public speaking or share their stuff at the library. If you are one of those people that maybe you travel, or maybe you've written a book, or maybe you've you have a unique, cool hobby that you would love more that doesn't involve destroying the library. You're like, I got this paint we throw on walls. Like, no,
that's not gonna work.
But you know what I mean? If you got cool stuff that I think the community would enjoy, and reach out to the library. They're always looking for new opportunities at a local level to get more people involved with the library. So.
Yesterday we had Felix Galante come over to play music, cool. And we had a few people come through. But next month we're going to have J.D. Cox, and
cool.
And that's going to be November 13th. It's always on a Sunday.
Okay.
And
to come out, enjoy the music, local flair, local music.
We have coffee.
Yeah.
We just
maybe
relax.
After church or before you go to church, depending on when you go to church.
2:30. So.
Yeah, so probably after church for most. So go to church, have lunch, and come on by for afternoon of music and or reading and quiet or whatever you're into.
Right, and we even had a little craft for the kids that came. If they wanted to do a pearl of beads, we were doing that for the kids, so that the parents could listen to music and they can do a little craft.
Good deal. So please get the calendar that Tracy's got here. Pick it up at the front desk there. They put one out each month here, so the October one's out now, and look for the November one here in a couple of weeks.
Right.
And just grab that, put it on your fridge, and you're like, oh, don't forget, this is the Saturday for this, or this is the Wednesday for story time, or this is, and that way you're reminded of it and you don't miss them. And trust me, especially those story times, the preschool story times. That is such a great way to springboard your children's reading skills.
And also teaches the kids how to socialize with other kids. They'll meet friends.
So, I mean, if your kid is, whether you homeschool or they're before school or that, whatever it is, expose them to as much of this as you can, because it's going to make them a better, well-rounded they're going to learn. And trust me, you're giving them the tools to be awesome, successful adults by doing this kind of stuff. So please reach out. And to be honest, they're going to have fun. I mean, initially you might be like, I don't know. And then they get there and then they start doing the crafts. And next thing you know, you're going to be like,
they're doing this.
Time to go home. No, I don't want to leave. Yeah, and you're like,
well, actually, that's what happens. They come and they might not be at the first initially excited about the story time, but then after they're there for a couple of weeks, they make friends with the kids. And then, like, we always have a scavenger hunt where they can search for pictures and they get a prize.
Part of the routine.
Right. And then they play on our play area that we have in there, the car they drive and what have you. So
it's amazing because it's definitely giving them people skills. It's getting them learning, learning new information skills. It's getting to teach them how to interact with others.
Yes.
In a world where everything's done behind a computer screen now, you lose a lot of human interaction, face to face, touching, being in a room with an adult or a person and talking with them, and hey, and you put an arm on their shoulder or something. That's we have generations of people that's all foreign to, because everything's done behind a screen. And humanity needs that side.
Yes.
We can't live on our phones our whole life. You need contact. No. You need to talk to people. You need a hug every once in a while. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's humanity. And so where they're going to lose some of that in other aspects of life because just how we do things now. Right. We need to go out of our way to put that back in, because it's so important for the overall growth and well-roundedness of that human being. Right. To have all that. Yes. And this is how you set the table for critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, all the things that, let's face it, we have a generation of kids that are lacking in some of these skill sets. And this is how we get it back, is doing stuff like going to the library on Saturday and going to story time or going to a fun music event or something like that. Come and do. And again, it's all free of charge. Right. Doesn't cost you a dime. All you got to do is get there, and you can get there by the bus or drive. And it's not a long period of time that you're there. Like story time's only an hour. Yeah. So STEM is a come and go. So you just come and do your STEM activity, and then you leave. Yeah, go about the rest of your day. Exactly. Enjoy whatever else you were going to do, or whatever. But please utilize that library. It's a beautiful resource, and don't forget, adults. There's a lot for you to do too. I know we're talking about get kids in there and come out to these things, but your own mental health might need some of this too. Come in, if you're lonely or looking for things to do, and sometimes reading, getting activities that help nourish also help deal with some of those other issues you're having problems navigating with. So so please, and guess what? You might come to book club and make a friend, and you're like, oh gosh forbid, I love reading the book, but you know what? Now I got someone to go to lunch to on Thursdays or whatever it is,
Exactly.
And that's the fun part. So come have some fun with us. Come meet some people. Come read some books. Come do things that are a little out of what you normally
hear
do.
music on a Sunday, whatever.
Yeah, come out, listen to talks, or come and it's just a great way to do it. Again, probably your best resources to stay up to date is getting that calendar, put it on your fridge at home. But liking and follow the Roswell Public Library Facebook and Instagram pages are equally good ways to kind of get that to you. Don't forget, you can always go to the Roswell Public Library's main website, which is through the city of Roswell's website. If you go to roswell-nm.gov, there's a tab there for the library. Click that. There is a /405, but I don't remember what that is. So just go to or Google Roswell, New Mexico Public Library.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we put the NM, you might get Georgia, and they have a lot of cool stuff there, but that's a long haul to get to that library from here. So. Good deals. Or anything else we missed? Did we get everything in?
I think we got everything in.
Give out the phone number and the hours for anybody who might have those kinds of questions.
Okay. Our phone number is 575-622-7101. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And Sunday is 2 to 6.
Yeah, and that's new. We're back open at Sunday hours and things. That was recently added here in the last month or two.
Correct.
So we're back to a full 7-day-a-week schedule at the library here. So the excuse that you had before will not work. The library is now open every day. You can go just about any day, all day, between 10 a.m. and really 6 p.m. every day, but 7 p.m. during, Monday through Thursday there. But you can come every day, check out books, come, even if you're like, I just want to go find a corner of this building, grab me a book and sit there and read for 2 hours.
You can do it.
Come on down. Come enjoy it. Come find you a spot or find a magazine or grab, got all the newspapers and periodicals. So if you're like,
we even have a puzzle out for adults.
Oh, cool.
So we have adults that come in and
before they get their puzzle?
Before they choose their books, they'll go and sit down and try to put a few pieces together, and then they go choose their
I
book.
like that because I like the concept of putting puzzles together, but I don't always want the commitment of spending hours and hours to commit to building this thing.
Yes.
But if I just walk in every once in a while, I'll be like, ooh, and satisfy that itch of, made a piece fit. All right, cool. Now I can move on about my day.
And then come back and say, let's see how much is done.
Yeah. It's like, you can't start in the middle. You got to work on the edges. That's the rule. And then you start working on the edges. But I love that because everyone contributes. And I think when you're done with those, just put them in a frame and then we'll call them our community puzzles. And this was the one from November. This was the one from...
We don't have that much wall space.
Yeah, you probably don't have much room. You get to get an archive facility for those. But very cool. Maybe auction them off for the library funds. But again, stay up to date, stay involved, come by the library, utilize it. Again, everything they provide you is free of charge. All you got to do is get a library card and keep it up to date by turning in your stuff on time. And, so if you don't have a card, come on down front desk. They'll take care of you. If you haven't had a card in probably the last 10 years, or you have a card but haven't utilized it in about 10 years, you probably don't have a card anymore. So you might want to come and check on that. And if not, then they'll be happy to help you out with all that and get it reestablished.
They can call us and see if their card is still,
and
active.
If not, we just come and get it activated. So, no big deal. It's just pulling out application with your address and everything, and a way to contact you in case you forget to bring stuff back. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think we got it all here.
Yes.
I think I was trying to, one more thing. I was like, we'll catch it next time. So.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Tracy. As always, appreciate the visit. And we'll see you here next time in a few weeks, I imagine.
Yes.
Talking about a whole new slurry of events and things that are coming up here.
Yes.
So good deal. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Don't work too hard. Stay dry. Still might get wet today. So there's a chance. It is 9:54. Let's get you into Wall Street.